Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. So today we are finally going to look at the latest release by Shear Revival, which is Grey Ghost Stronghold Cream Pomade. So we released this, I believe, last week, and obviously, as you guys know, we've been really busy, have a lot of things going on now, especially with the new projects going on and just new things that we're doing. And so this weekend, though, we finally have time to look at Grey Ghost, and so go ahead and start looking at it by going into detail with the jar.
So, as you can obviously tell, they definitely stayed within the Shear Revival design family with this one. Same, I believe, just by the look of it, same designer as before. And basically you have labeling, imagery on the front, on a very nice like metallic but matte finish vinyl label. Beautiful finish as always. Admittedly, the strong vertical format of the clock really leaves a lot of negative space, and though, I mean, I'm not one to complain about negative space, but here it is a little excessive in a way. But either way, still good looking jar overall. Warm red, magenta, and like kind of like a maroon kind of color scheme or feel to it. Information on one side, ingredients on the other, and opening up, it is still your 4-ounce traditional jar, and you can see the cream pomade inside has like a deeper darker off-white color scheme. And yeah, just go ahead and use it.
As for the scent of this pomade, it actually looks like I was a little wrong on the 4 ounce. This is actually a 3.4 ounce jar, so slightly smaller than what was used to be the traditional 4 ounce, which you notice people have been changing just because of kind of like TSA regulations and making things like pomade like travel friendly. Interesting. But the scent of this pomade, I've actually had a really hard time trying to pinpoint. There's like lavender, some sort of like floral herbiness. It's not exactly like a bite of spiciness, but it's kind of like a herbal floralness without like the freshness, without like much of like kind of like the dancing notes. It's more of like a citrus, spicy citrus, herbal kind of smell. Like overall, as always with Shear Revival stuff, a very beautiful blend. This time though, I really having a hard time pinpointing it. Scooping it out, definitely comes out like a cream pomade as you would expect. Actually very reminiscent of like the Anchor's Teddy Boy original. That's literally what it scoops out like. But already I can tell it's much thicker than that. So applying it to the hair, I can definitely feel the grippiness coming out. So I'm gonna have to be conscious that I take small scoops and apply easily, or else I'm gonna rip out some hairs. Yeah, it's just damn. It's been a long time since I used Anchor's Teddy Boy original, and also this is just funny how it scoops out very similarly, but applies completely differently. So I would definitely recommend applying in not only small scoops, but applying it to like towel dried hair, slightly damp if possible. I feel like if you're gonna go into this into very like completely dry hair, you might have some issues there. Just gonna take one more small scoop here, just because like the hold, and also just that I literally just got a haircut. I don't expect to really need much, or I don't expect my hair to be super demanding in regards to how much product I use right now. But yep, that looks like it's enough. Go ahead, just comb things through. So definitely feeling the grip with my fingers right now. I definitely had some discomforting kind of moments there. Combing it through is actually a lot easier, surprisingly. Yeah, there's a really stark difference between applying it with your hands and then combing it through. Combing it through is very easy, because like applying it with my hand, it was so grippy. I was actually kind of worried. I was like, this is quite a bit of like grip. Might be a little discomforting, but yeah, I mean, combing through is super easy. So go ahead, style it now. So go ahead, call it there. And obviously what you can see is Very beautiful shape, gave me a lot of volume as we would expect from like a strong hold. It's like a medium lightweight, but the thickness, like it's like 3Cs thick. It's real thick. Just kind of like the density, like the, not the gunkiness, because I like to use the word gunky more with like an oil base or like a kind of oily water base traditional, pseudo traditional like pomade. But this one, it's dry but thick and dense. There is a lot of grip that's going on right now, and a lot of it's not hardening, but it is brittle for like a cream pomade. It's not like a smooth pomade for in any way. It's very strong, harsh in some ways, but that's what really gives you that grip and that volume. So there is that balancing game that you have to play, where if you want a lot of volume, you're gonna deal with like a lot of grip and like a pretty like strong and harsh product. So just to go through things overall, so consistency out of the jar, it is nice. It is like Anchor said, word matte. It is a cream pomade. Application is very harsh with your fingers, and so you want to either apply it to like damp hair, towel dried hair, and go over little scoops at a time. But once you get enough in there and you start combing it, very easy to work with. A breeze, completely different from like the application experience, or like the initial application experience. The shine, I would say the finish is very much neutral. You can even argue that there is a slight luster to it, but I would say this looks to be pretty neutral. I mean, my hair does have typically kind of shine a little bit more than a normal person, just mostly because of the color. What else? Slickness, I would say it's definitely because the grip and it's really sticky. Sticky icky, like it really keeps everything together. You can definitely texture it up, though I just feel this honestly calls for more of a clean pompadour type of product. Strength wise, yes, it is a strong hold. Firm, strong hold. Medium lightweight, real thick. So control wise, it is, I want to say easy. It definitely makes it very possible to get this thing super tall, super voluminous, beautiful like shape, but you do have to be conscious that where your comb goes, your hair will stay there. So you will have to consciously, your hair won't really be able to fight back. You want to go ahead and form that literal shape of the pompadour. So yeah, so come back in a few hours, talk about the endurance, and pretty hopeful right now. Seems like a very strong pomade, so it would be pretty kind of high expectations for the endurance and the resilience side. But yeah, see you guys in a few hours. Alright fam, so basically we're deep into like the afternoon, arguably even like the evening at this point, so we'll go ahead and wrap up this review. So as you can see, things have changed. Definitely not what we expected, in that the product didn't just remain like unchanged throughout the whole day. But it's also got me thinking, kind of, it's about time that we start to embrace like the change and kind of the time dependency of like pomades, and actually in all things in general. Things are going to change, and we need to embrace that. Nothing is ever going to stay the same. I know, heavy shit, right? But more towards this review, like with the changing of the product, you get a different hairstyle, you get kind of just a little more excitement, a little more, I guess, forced creativity of things. Like the endurance, it keeps everything in shape and like out of your face like very well. I mean, like though the product changes and doesn't have the same strong hold that it had before, the hair like never fell into my face, so it stays clean and out of the way the entire day. Other things, basically what happens is like the presence really retracts after a few hours. What was once a clean pompadour is now pushed more toward and suggested more towards like a more textured, loose, freeform type of pompadour, which is what you see now. Got about 50% of the volume that you had from before, and what really comes through is like a lot of the texture. Also, the finish becomes more of like a neutral matte of sorts, but still feels very clean, becomes much thinner, so it's not as thick as before. And overall, kind of the best way to talk about it is that it just kind of fades into the background a bit. Scent is like basically non-existent at this point. And yeah, I mean, washing it out, basically I would recommend going with shampoo, but water is possible just because of how much it fades. If you wait like from the morning till the nighttime, washing it out, you could possibly get it out with just water. But yes, so overall, like, I actually really like Grey Ghost. Like, it receives my seal of approval for its ability to kind of just be such a dense and strong water base. It's kind of unique in that point. Also, the smoothness. Like, I'm a little bothered by the grippiness during the application, but that's only with like the initial application. The fact that it combs through extremely easily is something that really kind of stands more out for me. And just the idea that like you can have one like look in the morning and then it changes and it evolves throughout the whole day. It's actually a pretty cool concept. It's whether or not they actually intended for that or not, it's an interesting concept, you know? Something where like you start the morning with a clean pump and then you end the day with like a more textured pump that is still a well-formed pump. Not messy, just textured. But very interesting overall. So yeah, I mean, this is Grey Ghost. I believe it was released last week, so it's available now for you guys via Shear Revival. I believe our promo code the Pomp all captured also work on it. So if you guys are interested, feel free. It's up to you. Use our promo code. You guys want to save some money. Basically, just want to encourage you guys to buy direct from Shear Revival and encourage you guys to just experiment and see more of their brand. But yeah, so hope you guys got something out of this review. Other than that, take care, and next week will be a big week. So peace out, guys, and see you then.